thank you for joining us today with PATCHWORKdigital. Reality, tell us, well, I said your name, but tell us who you are and what you do.
Awesome. My name is Israel. I go by the name Reality. I am a music artist, record producer, and an audio engineer from Chicago.
Dope. So tell us where, we talked about it off camera, but what is the origin of the name Reality? And how's it spelled?
Right. It's spelled REALXTY. But the origin of that comes from, well, my name, like I said, is Israel. So the last part of my name is literally real. So I wanted something that really symbolized who I am and what I believe in. And in my music, I never like to talk about things that are not true to me. I don't talk about things that I don't believe in, that I don't subscribe to, that just aren't really genuinely me.
You haven't gone through.
What's that?
You haven't gone through it.
Exactly, yeah, you know, or experiences that in some way I can relate to, you know. But I wanted a name that really symbolized that, and I just really like Reality. It stuck out to me, and it made sense. So ever since then, just been Reality.
Here we are. Israel is really Reality.
There you go.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, there you go.
Tell us how you got started in music. Like, what made you want to start rapping? What made you want to produce? What attracted you to this?
So actually, music has always been a part of my life. When I was in 4th grade, my dad got me my first guitar.
Dope.
Took me to guitar lessons, taught me a little bit himself, because he was in a band when he was my age at the time. But so music has always kind of been in my family and in my life in some way. And without even realizing it, when I was like 9, 10, I was writing songs. Like, I didn't even have any like plan or anything. I was just writing it because I liked doing it. And then one thing just led to another. You know, I discovered Eminem. That was my introduction into hip hop. You know, other than everything that was on the radio, B96, you know, and that was my only source of music. But when I heard an Eminem song, I was like, what is that?
Whoa.
You know, what? Yeah, wow. And I fell in love with hip hop, the culture, the music, and when I heard him rhyme, I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that.
And sound like that.
Yeah. I love the way that he put words together, and I don't know, I fell in love with it. And ever since I've been making music for like 11, 12 years now, I kind of like am losing count at this point.
Yeah.
But it's just something that nothing has ever felt more right than this, you know? So it's been definitely more than a decade of making music, but just because I feel like this was the life that was chosen for me, not a life that I chose. And, you know, as far as the producing and the engineering, it kind of just like was another step that eventually had to happen, you know, because I always wanted my foot in anything music, and it was just a matter of time before it got to the producing and the engineering.
Well, I think that's a super cool detail that we find with all of our guests. It's like, I didn't really choose to be a creative.
Yeah.
I just creativity found me.
Exactly.
And I realized it was in my soul.
It's who you are, and what I always tell people is, there's two types of people: the people that get it and the people that don't. You either make art or you don't. You understand art or you don't. You create or you do. You know, it's like it's one or the other, because there are people that will stare at a painting and be like, what
is that?
Yeah, what is? But then there are other people that look at a painting and cry, you know, because they feel it. There's people that will listen to music and they're like, that speaks to me on a level that like it touches a part of my soul, and someone's like, it's whatever, you know. So it's like there's people that understand it and that don't, and the people that get it, the creatives, it's just a part of them. You can't teach somebody to like love art or to appreciate it or to understand it or create it. It kind of just has to be a part of you.
Well, we'll touch on DMND Studio in a minute.
Okay.
But I want to know a little bit more, like, how did you find your sound? Like, how did you realize this is how I like to execute a song? This is how I write my rhymes, and this is how it's going to come out.
I wish
sounds like it's going to be a good story.
I wish that was a simple answer, but I really don't know, because I feel like even though I've been doing this for so many years, I'm barely like scratching the surface of what like my sound is, you know, because I feel like in the past I might have boxed myself in as like, I used to be like the lyrical miracle spiritual rap, like I used to be that guy. And then I realized, I'm like, I like that kind of rap, but like that's not all I want to do, you know, because I don't just consider myself a rapper. I consider myself an artist as well. That sounds corny, but the reason behind that is because I don't just make rap music. I like making rock music. I like jazz. I like all types of music. And the way that I kind of find my sound is to listen to literally as many different genres of music as I can and put them all together and make something out of that, you know. And it is just kind of drawing inspiration from certain people, certain bands, certain musicians, and taking like, okay, I like the way this singer flows into this kind of syllable or something. I like the way that this rapper connects words, you know, stuff like that. So take those things and put them into a melting pot, and whatever comes out, that's my sound, I guess. You know, I don't try to sound like anybody else. I just make music that feels good. That's it.
On that same thread, we are in DMND Studios.
We are, yes, we are in DMND Studios.
You have worked with on this wall behind you, a plethora of artists.
A lot.
Is this the same, like, we can't work with the same type of artists? Like, you want everybody in here? Like, tell us about DMND Studio.
Yeah. So DMND Studios around this time, there's not an official date, but it's celebrating its first birthday somewhere in this thing. Thank you. We're celebrating the first birthday of DMND Studio around this general time because it was about mid-August when I started building the booth. And then that's when I kind of like, in like September, I kind of started to really have people in here and like engineering and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you can even see on the wall that like so many of these people are not even rappers or don't know anything about music. They're singers. There's some rock people in here. There's some producers. There's some like, geez.
Everything under the sun.
Yeah, like literally everything, and that is like kind of indicative of what I believe in music-wise is like just everything, you know, all inclusive, like everything. Like I accept all walks of life and stuff because I don't know. I feel like that's what art is about. It like if you just focus on like one thing, that's like a creative box, and is that really art if you're just like looking at one thing? I feel like you gotta open your mind and, you know, really experience and allow yourself to know about everything else. But DMND Studios is a place for that. It is for people to come in, express themselves creatively, and just feel, like you said when you got here, that you look at the art and like you feel at home, and that's what I want. I want people to want to hang out here, to want to be in here, not just to like feel like they gotta come in here, you know?
I paid you, I should probably come up. And
yeah, you know, no, I want people to like, I've had people that like take naps in here while I work on their stuff because they feel comfortable, you know? So yeah, that's what DMND Studios is my office, is my sanctuary, my little home.
But your space is also your artist space.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I actually have someone coming in next week from, I think he lives in Colorado. He's coming in and renting the studio. So, you know, he's like using it for, you know, I'm like, dude, go ahead, man. That's what I made the space for. Yeah, that's what I made the space for. So yeah, that's DMND Studios.
That's awesome. So you're liking owning your own records?
Yes.
Would you call it a record? Not a record label?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Is that something?
I feel like
manifest it?
Yeah, no, yeah. When I was younger, I was always like, oh, I'm gonna have my own record label and stuff. As an adult now, I understand how much work that is. So I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that's not the priority right now.
Gotcha.
But down the road, it is something that I could see myself pursuing.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you know, it's kind of just one of those steps that eventually has to be taken, you know, because I've had my hand in every part of the music creation aspect. You know, it's only a matter of time before that happens. But yeah, no, this is just like it's just a studio production company, because I also do video and editing and stuff for other people. So it's just kind of a creative space.
Gotcha. You released an EP last year or this year?
This year,
2021, called DMND Sessions.
Yes.
It's self-produced. You did the whole thing.
I did.
What was it like doing a project all by yourself?
It is something that I have wanted to do for my whole life. So for me, DMND Sessions it meant a lot of things to me. One of them was checking off something on my bucket list and something that's been on my yearly goals for years. I have a journal that at the beginning of every year, I write down my goals for the year. I close it, I don't even look at it, and then at the end of that year, I look at it and I'm like, okay, how many things did I accomplish? And that has been on there for years. Finally got to check it off. Finally got to check it off. But yeah, DMND Sessions, it was necessary because it was I was going through a point in my life where there was a lot of things changing, and I was coming to a lot of realizations. You know, as I grow older and, you know, become more of an adult and more of a man, I realize a lot of things, like what's really important. Like, I'm far removed from high school, so like high school drama, like all that, like none of that matters to me. Like college, like I'm far removed from college, like none of the academics matters. Like what really matters in my life, not what other people want me to worry about. What matters in my life? What do I care about? And DMND Sessions was that. It was me realizing, like, this is what I care about, this is what I believe in, and here are my thoughts. Just raw, unfiltered, this is what I feel. And yeah, it was just me letting all that out, and it was a fun process. I had fun. She was here for most of it. She's actually in the intro song with the I won't go into that.
I was gonna ask, whose lovely voice is that?
Yeah, at the beginning where she's like, everything's all good.
Yeah.
That's her, me and her, yeah. But it was cool, you know, it was just winter. We made it in the winter. So a lot of cold winter nights in here, working until late at night. My dog was in here too. But it was, you know, like I said, just a creative space, just coming in here and letting all that emotion out. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah? A lot of fun, yeah.
What is your creative process? So you sit down, you write something, you're like, yeah, this is okay, you edit, like what, from start to end, what is it like?
It's always different from start to end. So like I said, the song that I just showed you that's coming up, that was the first time that I had made a song like in a different state, like in a completely like different environment, you know, completely different. So that was different because I wrote a verse on my phone and then recorded it and then re-recorded it and then made the beat and then re-recorded. So it's like,
and tell them where you did it too. We were talking about camera, but this is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The next song that I will be releasing, I made in the middle of Oklahoma in an Airbnb.
Nice.
It was random because Oklahoma, like, that's not a place that I would ever see myself like vacationing in.
Yeah.
But it's like
fair.
One of the best trips I've ever taken. Like it was awesome.
What do you like about it?
So the Airbnb that we stayed at, it was like somebody's house in the front, and then they had a really big backyard, and then in the back they built like what was like a mini apartment, like a small, like a guest house, and that's where we were staying. So the guest house, it was small, you know, it was like a 1-bedroom. It was, you know, small, but enough for 2 people. And then they had a pool. They were growing watermelons in their backyard, growing watermelons. Never seen watermelons being grown, but they had a pool and the weather was beautiful. It was just really awesome, you know. I felt like I had enough time and I was in a space where I could really create and just be as creative as I wanted. Cause even here, like, you know, this is my space, so sometimes I have to like work on other people's stuff. I can't just like, okay, this is time for me to work. But out there, you know, I could go into the pool a little bit, you know, have a little beer, come back inside, make a sandwich, record, you know, just like living the life. But my creative process, it changes depending on how I'm feeling. You know, sometimes I'll just pull up this mic and I'll freestyle something. I'll just talk. And then I might find one thing that I like out of there and then make a song out of that. Or sometimes I'll find a beat that I like and I'll write a song to that and then record it. Or, you know, it changes all the time. It's just how I'm feeling, what kind of headspace I'm in.
Love that. What is your favorite song to perform? Have you started performing yet, or when is the last performance you had?
My last performance was actually my headlining performance, January 2020.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
January 2020 is the first time that I had headlined a show. Sold it out. It was awesome. It was a night that very emotional night, you know, because it was the first time that my mom had seen a show of mine. It was the first time I headlined, and I sold it out twice because I got the tickets, I sold those out, got more, sold those out. So it was such a great night. But I have not performed yet, and that has been intentional. I have been asked, and I have turned them down, just because I feel like if that was how people remember me, the next step has to be better than that. And, you know, no disrespect to anybody, but like, I don't really want to like open up for somebody right now or like perform in somebody's showcase when the last time that I performed was me headlining. And when I come back, I want it to be my show. I want it to be the experience that I want to give the people, not something that like I'm just a gear in somebody else's machine. You know, I don't want that. So I haven't performed as of yet because of that. But sometime next year, I would be throwing a show of my own, and that would be the Diamond Experience. That'll be
Experience.
That'll be that. But you know, that just hasn't happened yet.
Gotcha.
So, but it's in the plans for sure.
Well, you talked about a song that PATCHWORKdigital got the exclusive to listen to in the studio.
Yes.
But you told us you're going to be releasing, or you have started releasing, one song a week.
Every 2 weeks.
Every
2 weeks. Yep.
Tell us about that. Why every 2 weeks? Why now? What's going on?
It's a funny story actually. So for most of the summer, I had been bouncing back and forth between like 2 or 3 songs, and I never finished them. I just kept editing them and going back, and I never finished them. A couple weeks ago, I made this song called Therapy on Thursdays, and I wasn't even planning on releasing it, but everybody wanted me to drop it, so I dropped it. And then the reception that I got from that kind of motivated me to be like, okay, well, this is a song I didn't even plan on releasing. And I make a lot of music that I'd never release. So why don't I just drop something frequently that doesn't give me enough time to overthink it or to like hold on to it too much. You know, it's kind of just like me going like that, you know, just like dropping it and like moving on, you know? So that's kind of why I'm doing it, because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me busy. You know, like I want to have at least one song finished every week. And just to kind of be in people's faces, you know, I'm still doing this, and bring them something different each time. So like Therapy on Thursdays was like a little bit more like jazzy, soulful rap. The last song I dropped was like an R&B late night song. This next song is more like a lo-fi trap, like upbeat. But yeah, I want to just kind of like test new waters, see what I'm capable of doing, and challenge myself and have fun.
Of course. Well, I got a few quick fire rapid questions.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Cubs or Sox?
Sox.
Burgers or tacos?
You can't do that to me.
we are doing it to you.
Oh man. Okay, I'm Mexican, so I have to choose tacos. I have to choose tacos.
Okay,
but
fair.
I love burgers so much. So it's like tacos like right here above burgers, but I love burgers.
Okay, how about burger versus hot dog?
Burger. Man, hot dog.
Right, are you a pizza fan?
Yeah.
Pizza or burger? Wow, is that one a hard one? Jeez.
I feel like I can eat pizza more casually and more frequently, but I enjoy like a good burger sometimes. You know, I don't really go out and order pizza. It's something that like, if I'm in a restaurant, I'm not choosing pizza. Choosing a nice burger.
Okay.
But at home, yeah, I might cook a pizza or something. So I have to go burgers with that.
Okay. Early riser or night owl?
Both. Literally both.
How? Teach us.
I literally don't know. When we were in Oklahoma, we were waking up at like 7 o'clock every day because she had to be at work by like 8:30. So I was up early and we were still up late because she would get homework from late. I was in the pool working on music. So I don't know. Sometimes I'll be up at 6 in the morning and I'll go to sleep at 2 a.m. And then the next day I'll wake up at 12 o'clock p.m. and go to sleep. You know, it's like
feel perfectly fine?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so you know why I feel perfectly fine is because I don't have a 9 to 5 that I have to wake up at X amount. You know, like when I had a 9 to 5, I have to go to sleep by this time because I need this many hours of sleep because I got to wake up by 7. It's like now, this is my job. Like if I want to sleep until like 11 o'clock, I can. If I want to stay up until 3, I can. You know.
Got it.
So that's why I'm both. It just depends on the day.
Well, I think one more. date night out or stay in?
More frequently stay in, but I can enjoy a good night out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. What advice would you give to aspiring musicians?
Keep going. Don't stop. Don't even look at anybody else's past. Just understand that you are on your own unique path that nobody else is a part of, that you are on your own path and you're making that path. And the moment that you start looking at somebody else's and looking at what they're doing, you're gonna lose focus on your path. So just stay focused, stay consistent, and keep going. There's no reason to stop. You are your only obstacle. You know?
Is that the advice you would give to yourself 5 years ago?
Yeah, that's the advice I would give myself yesterday. You know, like I gotta tell myself that all the time because, you know, as we were talking that we're like entrepreneurs doing this full time now, like if I fail, that's because I'm not going hard enough. You know, and if I've gotten this far doing what I do is because I'm capable of doing it. So sometimes I have to like take a step back from everything and remind myself like, hey, you're in this position because you got yourself in this position. So if you're gonna get to the next thing, you gotta get yourself to that next thing. So don't even look at anybody else. They're not doing it for you, you're doing it for you. So just keep focused.
How do you stay motivated? Is that part of it?
It is, yeah, and it's hard sometimes because, you know, people talk about a work-life balance. Like my life's work is my work now, you know, and sometimes it's hard to keep that balance because it's like I love this so much that since I do it every day now, it's work sometimes. You know, sometimes I get people from all around the world that send me their music to, you know, mix it, master it, and send it back. Sometimes that is work. And even though I love making music, it's like, I don't love this song, but like, you know, I'm getting paid to do it, so like I have to. And then other days it's like, I know I should work on something, but I don't feel it. And you guys being creatives, I'm sure you can attest to this, that like, creativity isn't like you can't like on the spot like, okay, I'm gonna be creative now. Yeah. You know, it's like sometimes it hits you, sometimes you gotta drag yourself out of bed to do it. And so yeah, sometimes I gotta like keep myself motivated and be like, hey, like you've worked your whole life for this. Keep going, you know, keep going. It's not easy right now, but like when you got everything in your face right here, how are you supposed to focus on anything? You know, you got to take a step back and see the bigger picture, and then you'll be able to like realize, okay, everything's fine. You know, everything's all good right now.
So you mentioned that you do mix and master for folks everywhere.
Yeah.
What is the craziest place, or I guess maybe the farthest place you've gotten to communicate with someone?
Farthest. I just finished up a song. I actually got to send it today. I finished up a song for a guy from like somewhere in Africa, I think. Okay. He's like, I don't even know. Like I kind of told from his accent, it sounds like a very like African accent, and by his name, I could tell that he's from somewhere out there. I think that someone from, I've worked with this one artist from New Zealand a lot. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't even really know where that is. Like I know it's somewhere
That's like. Be part of your deal next time. Get me out there, you know.
I always try to tell people like I was just on somebody's podcast who's from out in LA, and she throws shows in LA. She's throwing one I think this weekend in New York, and I'm like, hey, like if you ever need it, I could bust a trip out there. You know, I could go. But yeah, I work with people from all around the world. Some of them don't even speak English very well, but I mean, you know, music speaks for itself. Yeah. Music speaks for itself, yeah. I work on stuff that isn't, like, I don't even speak that language, but I still make it sound good. So yeah, it's pretty cool just getting to interact with people from everywhere.
What do you like to do outside of music? What do you think contributes to your artistry that's outside of music?
That's an interesting question, because sometimes I do have to like stop music like completely and live life, because if I'm locked in the studio all day, I got nothing to talk about.
Who else are you?
Yeah, like I don't want to be that guy that's making music about making music or rapping about rapping. You know, like I don't want to be that guy. Because I used to be that guy, and that's when I got boxed in, full circle, you know. But no, yeah, like I like to spend time with my family. That's very important to me. You know, I got 2 beautiful dogs. I love both of them. Like right before this, we were watching Harry Potter. hanging out with my dogs, you know.
movie
Yeah,
marathons,
movie like literally after this, we're gonna go watch Harry Potter. We're gonna finish that movie. But I like to watch movies, shows. I like to play video games. But honestly, a lot of my time does go to this, you know. I try to work out as much as I can, and you know, because sometimes I'll be hunched over, you know. Yeah, I actually bought this desk, and it moves up, so that sometimes, like when I feel like I'm too hunched over, I gotta stand up, because that and this chair too, like for my back, it really does mess up my posture when I'm just sitting all day. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just try to enjoy nature. Sometimes I just go for a walk and look at some trees, and I got trees tatted because I love trees. So just looking at nature and stuff like that. Yeah, just
a few more rapid fires on that same thread again.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
City life or country life?
Country life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite TV show?
Of all time, I'll go Breaking Bad.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Nacho Libre.
Got me
Got it right there.
We love that so much. Okay, last one. Favorite game or game that you're playing right now that you just bought?
Game that I just bought 4 games. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I'm playing Spider-Man PS4. I got The Witcher. I haven't played it yet, and I got Shadow of War. I haven't played it yet.
Dope.
God of War is another really good one.
Just so the fans know, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned before.
Is it the country life?
Absolutely not. I'm a city person.
Okay.
You can keep that country life. Go on a nature hike. That's about it.
I just find more peace out in I feel like the city's too chaotic for me sometimes.
I will agree with that, but sometimes not hearing anything scares me more.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
No crickets.
I love the crickets. Yeah, I love that. That's so peaceful to me because I love that because that's like, man, I can like hear myself think, you know, because we went to school in Columbia, downtown, and the city life, like in the heart of downtown, it's like chaotic. Yes. It's chaotic. You can barely breathe. You know, you can barely breathe. There's just like people yelling. There's cars. There's so much like overstimulation of the brain. Whereas like in the suburbs or like getting away a little more, it's like I can hear the crickets. You know, I can hear birds.
I can see the stars at night.
I can see you like not too much here, but like when you go like further out in the suburbs or just like in the country, like you can breathe better. Yeah. Like the air out there just feels like cleaner. And I'm a hippie, you know. I love nature, so that's where I feel like I'm better. But I do need a balance between the country and the city life. Yeah, exactly. What did you want to know? That's completely something separate.
Now they know more about you.
Yeah, there you go.
You brought up how you used to be locked in here all day, every day. Tell us how you got out of that like grind time mentality into a balance, a work-life balance. Yeah, so a couple months ago, I did go through a bit of like a dark time, just because, you know, I'm about 3-4 months full-time with this, a little bit over 3 months. So I hit the ground running. As soon as I quit my job, I hit the ground running, and I'm like, okay, this is what I do. This is what I gotta do now. And I was of the belief that I had to put in 8 hours a day working in here just to make sure that I'm like keeping consistent. But the more that I did that, I'm like, dude, I quit this other job so that I could have more time for life, you know? And this was taking over my life. You know, I was finding myself in here all the time, not spending time with my family, not working out, not doing anything. It's like I was a slave to my own game, you know? And it took some realization that even though this is my job, like sometimes I can come in here and knock out a good 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and that'll be like enough for the day. Whereas like I don't have to be in here all day for just to say that I was in here, you know? So it was just kind of realizing that, like, you know, I did this so that I could have more freedom with my life, so that if I want to take Wednesday off, I could take Wednesday off, you know? And if I want to come in here, take the whole day off, come in here at 11 o'clock, let me do that.
You know, it's not like a 9 to 5 that I have to be in here at a certain time and leave by a certain time. So it's a work in progress. You know, it's finding that balance and finding what works with me. Sometimes I'm not in here every single day. Sometimes I'll take a couple days off and then come in here and knock everything out. So it really is just kind of making sure that I'm in the right headspace and okay with myself to be able to do this and live my life at the same time, you know, and coexist.
Yeah. This is kind of I don't want to say a tough question, but not everyone's favorite question.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully alive.
I'm right there with you.
Hopefully alive, and wherever I am in 5 years, if my loved ones are there to see that 5th year with me, then anything else is extra. But hopefully in 5 years, I will be out of here. Will not be in this space for sure. DMND Studios is more of an idea rather than like a place. So I can pick up DMND Studios and go somewhere else. So DMND Studios will be upgraded. And I'm hoping by that time I'll be able to be making a living more off of my music rather than having to work on other people's music. At the end of the day, that always is my goal, is to be my own artist, not an engineer producer forever. So yeah, that owning some property, hopefully, you know. But yeah, you know, I just want to be alive, healthy, well. My people are there with me. Everything else is extra.
Well, tell us where the viewers, your fans, anybody who is watching and, you know, with us virtually today, where can they find you?
You can find me on every streaming platform as Reality, that's spelled REALXTY, on every social media platform as Official Reality, www.officialreality.com.
Love that. So, all right, well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. Thank you.